Here we have section 4.2, exercise 26. And in exercise 26, well, let's change that. Let's make that exercise 28. It's just a little bigger, and so let's try that. We're told that g of x is equal to x squared plus 1, and we would like to look at the interval 1, 3 and get the area between this curve x squared plus 1 and the x-axis, or at least approximate it using 8 rectangles. Okay, so what that means is, okay, here's x squared plus 1, and there's 1, there's 3, and we want 8 rectangles. So there's 2 rectangles, 4 rectangles, and so we want to go, 1.25. We want to go every quarter unit here to make a rectangle. And what we see is that if we use the left-hand side, we get rectangles that are a little too small. So that's going to be a lower bound on the area. And if we use the right-hand side of each interval, we get rectangles that are too big. Okay, so we want the left. And again, if I call, see, 1 x0 and then 1.25 x1, x2 up to x8 for 3 there. All we want to do is we want to sum up the 8 rectangles. So sum, and we're going to use the left-hand side. So I'm going to go with j equals 0 to 7. And we're going to do x sub j squared plus 1. And then all times our delta x. Well, delta x is 3 minus 1 over 8, or 2 over 8, or 1/4, 0.25. And so that's times 1/4. And now, also, what is, how do I define my x sub j? Well, I start at 1, right? X sub 0 is 1, x sub 1 is 1.25, and so forth. And so, I'm just taking 1 here plus j over 4. J over 4, yes. Okay, that's, so I'll get 1, and then I'll get 1 and 1/4, and x2, I need 1.5, so I'll get 1 plus 2 over 4. All right, so I'm just setting something up to give me the right x value. So this is the sum j equals 0 to 7 of the quantity 1 plus j over 4 squared plus 1, all times 1/4. And so that's what I need to add up. Well, I'm just going to go to Desmos and Sage and all that. So what am I on? I'm on Desmos. Okay, so I have to get rid of this stuff. Okay. I'm using 8, so get rid of that, make that 8. Well, actually that was 7. I have a little grandson running in here all of a sudden. And make that a 0. I'm going to pause it for a second. All right, we are back, and so I changed the that, and let's get all this stuff. So there's my 0 is 7. Again, let's see, I might have to do a couple of these things, but it was my x was 1 plus j divided by 4, and then close that off and square it. So we had that, and then I think plus 1. Let me go back here for a second. 1 plus j over 4 squared plus 1, and then all times 1/4. So and now I need my plus, whoops, didn't do what I expected it to, get rid of that. So plus 1, and close that parenthesis, and then times 1/4, well, that's the same thing as dividing by 4. And so this says I got 9.6875, I can get rid of that in there, 9.6875. Okay, so according to that, when I add this whole thing up, 9.6875. And then I want to do the same thing with the right-hand sums. Well, the only difference is that for right, I need to sum from j equal 1 to 7, but it's still those same things. So 1 plus j over 4 squared plus 1 to the 1 times 1/4. And so that should be pretty easy. Oh, I messed that up. Let me go back to that. 1 to 8. Right, 1 to 8 on those. Let's make sure. Quit that. Right, so I want to start here at x1 and go all the way to x8 for those right hand sides. Okay, so that better come out to be something a little bigger, but all I have to do is go in here and change that, so that's a 1, and oh, I don't know what I just did. That was weird. Okay, and it's just kind of difficult with this kind of interface here, but there's 8, and it says 11.687. So, 11.6875 as a matter of fact. So it added 2. And so our area is in between these because I know that's too small and I know that one is too big. So the area is in between here somewhere. It's less than that and bigger than that. Okay, so that was number 28.